Yeah, I start with the internet and then I move to the iPhone. So first of all, to Google. You have a Google Netherlands Holdings, which receives considerable amounts of royalty fees from Ireland. That's the sandwich part and the burger. And according to my information, you had in the past 0 employees in the Netherlands. So how much turnover do you make with an answering machine? And how would you regard that in terms of economic substance? As of 2009, Google had still been reporting 25 subsidiaries and tax havens to the US authorities. This went down to the 2 in Ireland a year later. An academic study into the reporting of Google and Oracle found that the 23 missing subsidiaries were still active in March 2012. Could you please specify how many of the 23 subsidiaries, which were last disclosed in 2009, and which were located in what the researchers considered tax havens, are still operational today, and why you chose to no longer disclose them?
Sure. In terms of Google Netherlands Holdings, it's correct to say that this is a holding company. It is part of this Bermuda structure that we've discussed, which does not affect our it does not affect our European Union tax liabilities, but does in fact defer tax that is due in the United States. In terms of our substance in the Netherlands, we have another company which actually conducts our business in the Netherlands. It has around 200 employees and pays tax on all of the activity carried out by those employees and the investments that we have in the Netherlands, matching the economic substance.
But the former one has 0 employees still, right? Is that correct?
That's correct. It is part of the structure that I described that does not affect the amount of tax that we pay in the European Union.
Okay, I would really like to visit your offices there. It's fascinating.
You're welcome to come and see our offices in the Netherlands or in Ireland. As I've explained, the United States tax system, which is different than other tax systems that are generally apply corporate income tax on a territorial basis, has encouraged companies to have these types of offshore structures. It might sound strange, but the facts of it, under international tax law, these structures don't affect the amount of tax that we're paying in European Union jurisdictions. They defer the amount of tax that we're paying in the United States. In terms of this study that you cite about subsidiaries in tax havens, I haven't seen this study. I'd be happy to take a look at it and comment on it. I don't believe that we have changed anything like that number of subsidiaries across our operations. Where we do business is very public. The entities that we have in Bermuda, the entities, the business that we have headquartered in Ireland, this is all very public information, and I don't believe that anything has changed substantially since 2009.
Well, it has, and I'm sure you will report back on that. Thank you.
Your question to Apple?
Now, to Apple, the colleague from Google just talked about the US tax system, where you would only pay taxes when you have repatriated certain money. Apple subsidiaries have 200 billion US dollars as at the end of 2015 outside the US. And you made statements that you would only consider repatriating these foreign earnings to the US if there was an adequate reduction in the US corporate tax rate. Could you please specify what level of taxes you would deem adequate? Could you also tell us how much corporate income tax Apple paid in 2014 and 2015, as with your Irish structure, we don't have adequate financial accounts? And lastly, the US government complained that European Commission would target selectively US corporations. Do you share that view, and would you then support that the European Commission beefs up its human resources to target even other companies? So do you feel unfairly treated by the European Commission by investigating your case?
Merci. Mesdames.
So your first question was associated to the US tax system and US tax reform. We are very encouraging of getting US tax reform, and we've made many statements about that, looking for simplicity and a reduction in corporate income tax in the US, which is one of the highest corporate income tax rates in the world. In relation to
so you want the US to lower the tax rates to bring back your money, correct?
we think it would be more competitive if the US had a lower corporate tax rate.
Okay.
Certainly. You asked us about how much tax we have paid. As Cathy said in her opening statement, we believe we're actually the largest taxpayer in the world. During 2015, we paid $13.2 billion of taxation worldwide, and our effective tax rate was 26.4%. You asked about taxes paid in Ireland. We don't publicly disclose that.
I asked for the EU, not for the world, not for Ireland, EU, 28 countries.
For
I
the
think you know
EU,
that.
we also don't publicly disclose that. We don't have any reporting obligation associated to taxes paid in the EU, so therefore that information is not publicly available, and we would see that as being confidential information protected as taxpayer kind of information by law.
That's ridiculous.
In due course, there's changes
Yeah.
due associated to reporting, associated to country-by-country reporting, being implemented under BEPS. And obviously, when those regulations come in, we will report our taxes on that basis.
Okay.
We report, obviously,
Okay.
in countries where we have publicly available filings, we have information.
We understand.
filed.
Thank you.
They're still missing an answer to my last question. I'm
Yes.
sorry for that.
No, sorry. The time is running out.